Oh, I guess we started, huh?
Oh, man. Yeah.
Is our intro?
Yeah, we're in.
We're starting? Okay. So today we are at Bonkers. So just full disclosure here. So Bonkers is something that me and my business partners, we started after we opened Aloha Ramen. This spot became available. And then Kimo was like, "Hey, Tam, what else are you missing from America, like food-wise?" And I was like, "Fucking Mexican food, man." Because before that, it was like Pancho Villa. Oh, yeah. And then we had a bunch of pop-ups, which they all do a good job, but there wasn't like a standalone, the style that I'm doing, and I hate to call myself authentic, but it's authentic to Southern California. Okay. So, I want to bring some of that kind of flavor to here. And then, then eventually, Finland, you go to Finland restaurants, you go to one restaurant, they all look kind of the same. Yeah. So here you walk in here is like completely different.
It's an arcade. I love it.
Yeah, the arcade, like also missing the arcade style in America. You can have a burger, play some video games. We got free games here. We got games. You guys can see it in the B-roll later. And then vegan, at that time, the vegan trend was going up too. So we decided to open up a vegan restaurant. Thank you for the beer. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes,
we are now drinking non-alcoholic beers.
Yeah. Always non-alcoholic.
Always non-alcoholic beers.
We're gonna get Pretendo drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, I
must say, when you opened these, I think there was nothing else, and then there was a boom. It was very quickly they started to pop up some other Mexican joints, some other Mexican places as well.
Yeah.
There's a couple that are still standing. There's a couple that came and went.
Really quick. Yeah.
But it was a boom right away.
How did you feel when Tam, the Vietnamese guy, opened up a Mexican restaurant?
No,
Speak your mind.
To be honest, I think we've talked about this before. That Tam knows the culture, he was in touch with a lot of like Mexican involved there. He has been across the border many times.
Yeah, and so I've asked for your feedback all the time too. Yeah.
And then you got someone from Mexico.
Yeah.
Actually, like
we'll talk about our special guest in a minute here.
I know he has brought some other recipes. Has helped with the menu. So I think. As I said, you haven't ever said, "Oh, this is authentic Mexican food."
Yeah.
But there's some.
This is what I grew up with. This is what
sure.
Yeah.
I would say it's pretty close.
Yeah, and you kind of grew up in an area where there was a lot of Mexican food, Mexican culture.
Oh yeah. The fun thing is that sometimes we have this bias where we go to a restaurant, and I do the same thing. If I go to a Vietnamese restaurant, I'm looking in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Who's behind there? But being from Southern California and from Florida, where even if you go to fine dining restaurants, you know who's cooking your food? Mexicans. Fact. Yeah, it's Mexicans, Dominicans, Asians, Africans. So that whole perception where there has to be like a Italian guy back there. It has to be no. As long as that person understands the food, the culture, is getting input and puts the food out. I think it could represent something that people enjoy. Yeah. I think one of the funniest things when we first opened here, I come out to clear tables and I remember this old couple, and they're like, and they only finish half their food. So when they only finish half the food, I was trying to, and it's hard to pry feedback from Finnish people. They're like, "Moi, it was good, but you didn't finish it." Like, was there something wrong with the food? Oh, it wasn't what we expected. Oh, what were you expecting? Oh, Pancho Villa. Oh, so you understand Pancho Villa has been in society in Finland for like decades. So that's what they're used to. Yeah. So we can't change that perception.
It'll take time.
That's what you're used to. Yeah. That's what you're used to. Yeah. When they die.
and I think that there's a whole new generation that has been traveling that has authentic, have experienced authentic flavors from all over the world, that when they come home or or now that they're growing up here, they are excited about the fact that it's not that bland replication.
That's true. Because Finns are, I always say Finns are the most traveled people in the world. I remember, shout out to Mario. Me and Mario were in Ensenada. There's a little town outside Ensenada. There's a little hole in the wall.
Where's Ensenada, bro?
Mexico.
Okay.
Baja, California. Yeah. So there's a little hole in the wall, all Mexicans. I'm the only Asian guy there. And we're seeing these two couple walk in, and Mario's like, cabron. Shh, hey, they're Finnish. I'm like, no, shut up. And they sat down outside here, hey, meet the. I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. Middle of nowhere, 200 miles from the border. And just like,
nice.
So Finns are very, very well traveled.
Yeah.
So I just got back from Connecticut, and then I went straight to Brussels, and I'm feeling a little under the weather. So if I hear a little bit of coughing here,
Same here.
I thought TK's been sick for a while too.
I missed out on the whole trip because I wasn't feeling well.
Yeah.
So, I was supposed to also go to Brussels and,
That's right.
hang out with our foreign correspondent
Yes.
as well. But I couldn't make it. My whole squad has been sick at home. So, I had to chill out and also, not only for myself, but also be there to help with the kids and everything. Not help with the kids, but being with the kids as
supportive. Renee, what have you been doing the last 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks?
I've been working a lot. I have nothing to tell about much.
Are you still playing darts?
Yeah, I'm still playing darts.
Then,
Consistently, I go on Wednesdays. If you're interested in darts, it has been growing quite a lot in Finland.
Yeah.
If you're interested in that, I play for Tridenti. We're in Tamela, in Vanhamestari every Wednesday, 6 o'clock.
It's one of those quote unquote sports where you're allowed to drink,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like bowling.
it actually helps. Couple drinks,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
get a bit more relaxed.
In the zone.
Couple more, and then you suck.
You suck. Well, let's get to our guest today, Manuel.
Hello there.
CCC. So just real quick here, I remember we were looking for cooks one day, and then Manuel walks in. He goes, "Hey, I'm looking for a job." I was, "Yeah, where you from?" Tijuana. My heart's like, "Oh yeah, what are you doing?" "I was a chef there."
Love at first sight.
Oh, I remember you played it so cool.
I was like, "Yeah."
It was like, well, we're kind of looking for something. We don't know yet. I need to speak to my associates and my business partners, but I'll let you know.
It was desperate. Desperate.
Yeah.
I mean, so and obviously we hired you on, but what is your story here? I don't think everybody knows. Like, how did you originally get here, and what made you come here to apply?
Okay, well, it's a story that I tell like quite a bit because it's always the question like, okay, so you're from Mexico. Why the fuck are you here in Finland?
That's why I'm doing a podcast.
If
so
the weather is
tell
so good
everybody.
there, why are you here?
Yeah.
I mean, Mexico and the food and the weather and everything is so amazing. Why are you here in just frozen Finland? And it was funny. It was something that I didn't expect. Like I always had this feeling that I wanted to explore life in Europe ever since I was probably like 16, 17 when I first went to Germany. And I got a taste of Europe, and I'm like, I really dig it. Like it's nice, and I think my personality allows me to like, I don't know, adapt to different people and get to know their culture and their side of things. And so that was dormant for a while. Like my teens went away, and when I was about 28, 29, I met a girl. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like these stories. So I've heard.
Yeah, Tam calls us souvenirs.
Yeah, you souvenir. You were a souvenir.
Yeah. No, but
That's a bit different, I think.
This story is a bit different because like the girl that I met was Mexican, born and raised Mexico.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out to her wherever she is. I'm not gonna say any names, but she's a crucial part of
Everything
why I'm
happens
here.
for a reason.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm a firm believer of that. And so her parents happened to have been living here for, I don't know, at that point around 3 or 5 years or something like that. And then we started going out. We got into a relationship, and then we said, "Hey, should we try our luck? Should we actually move there and explore that side of us?" And yeah. A few months later, it wasn't even years, a few months later, we were on a plane in LAX. We didn't know what was going to happen. And it just so happens that there were some rumors of this weird virus going on back in February 2020.
Oh, yeah.
And we didn't pay much attention to it,
Yeah.
but March 17th, I think it was March 17th or something like that. The borders closed. Like everywhere. And we managed to get here before that. We changed our tickets so we could get here because it got bad really, really fast. So yeah, that's how I got here, and it wasn't easy because we were in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah.
And it was uncertainty written all over the walls. We didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know what was going to happen to us. Like, yeah, it was not easy looking for a job.
What was your plan of the what has what were you thinking when you moved here? Was it like you had somewhere to come, or were you just investigating like, okay, where are we gonna stay? We have to get a job. We are gonna study. Like, what was your plan at that point before the whole COVID thing?
Yeah, well, she had plans to study, but first, get a job. I did as well. Like, we didn't know how it was going to go. We didn't know how we were going to proceed, but we just knew that we had to do it by any means necessary. So we tried to do that, but it was really difficult because everything. I mean, I'm a cook, and the restaurants were going out of business or not accepting any workers. And the ones that were like, oh, yeah, you can come here, no papers, €8 an hour. What?
Yeah.
No, bro. Nuh-uh.
And then,
And
then you can tell us about, and then you got the D word.
Oh. Before that. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Well, before that, I made really good friends and really good connections here. Tam and all of his network it's been really amazing because that was basically the reason why I came back. I'll get to that in a bit, but coming back to that story when I knocked on your door, literally I just came in here. Yeah. You were sitting right over there.
Yeah, office work.
Yeah. Office day. You were little beanie. Yeah. And I'm like, you Tam? Yeah, I'm Tam. What's up? Oh, well, and I told him my tourist visa is about to expire. I want to stay in the country. I need a contract.
Yeah.
Oh, so who are you? What are you doing? Well, I'm a professional chef. Been here, and there. Yeah. And where are you from? From Tijuana.
Ooh, CC.
That has a story with Tijuana.
Yeah.
And and so we hit it off.
Nice.
Pretty nice there. And 2 years later, 2022, I came back.
And that's an interesting story, right? Because you met Tam and then you guys situated, but then you had to leave at some point.
I did have to leave because we did conjure up some sort of contract that was convenient for everyone at the time, but we didn't know any better because it was the first time that the company was doing something like this for anyone. And so you couple that with the fact that the immigration office and the employment office was like, hey man, we're not really taking any anyone right now. We need to just hold on a bit. Yeah. Well, I got kindly asked to leave the country in 30 days. I appealed the decision, which granted me another 30 days or something like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, I had to go back to Mexico and reassess.
Yeah,
it was tough.
It's kind of sucks actually because I remember during the same time there were people. I met some people who came to Finland on holiday and they found a business that they wanted to buy, and basically they wanted to apply for a permit based on that, and then they had to leave the country as well. Apparently, you have to. There's certain kinds of apparently permits and stuff that you have to do from outside. All of this funny stuff, but you know how it is. These processes. But all right, you came back 2024.
2022, actually.
2022.
Yeah, the first stint was back in 2020 from March till December or something like that. Okay. Went back, got my old job back, saved up a little bit of money, and then I tried again. But this time the paperwork and everything was submitted from Mexico, and we were constantly communicating with Kimo, with you, and via email and everything that had to be submitted to the office, and
miraculously they approved it.
Yeah. Actually, it was...
Cheers to that.
Oh, yeah. Actually, cheers to that, fellas.
Yeah.
Funny thing is that we started the process in February 2022 because we had all the paperwork, everything.
This was right after COVID, right after the lockdowns, right?
Yeah.
So you were away during the lockdowns.
Right? I was here during the lockdown.
Okay.
Back in 2020, March.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I went back end of 2020, and so I spent the whole of 2021 in Mexico. Then 2022 February we submitted the paperwork again, yeah. And in April I got an email from the immigration office that my permit was approved. Yeah. I just had come back from the embassy.
Yeah.
I just went to take my fingerprints and my picture and everything, and I was like, oh, fuck, please.
And I
Take
think
my ass back to Finland.
and I think unfortunately, like your story and kind of like my story during COVID, where they didn't renew my my paperwork.
Oh, I remember that. You
so-
went into
there's
you
a
went
certain
into
point
lawyers
where-
and everything.
Yeah, so at a certain point, they told me I had to leave the country.
Yeah.
So I had to do the appeals and appeals, and I think we are definitely not the norm, because I heard so many more stories of people that actually got deported.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Than people that
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
beat the system and made it here.
Yeah.
For me, it's crazy because, for example, Tam, well, he has a few businesses here. He's employing a lot of people, right? So at that point, I remember when I listened to your stories, like, well, if this guy cannot stay, man,
Like, who cares?
Yeah.
No,
A lot of people were shaking in the booths. Yeah, like what the hell? Yeah.
I thought it was absolutely crazy that you could jeopardize the job of I don't know how many people you've been employing, right? Or how many people you had employed at that point in time by sending away the business owner, expecting the business to survive how? And how these other people's jobs are supposed to continue. And, without going into too much details, also like, during that season,
Immigration,
the processes that you had to go through and the sacrifices that you had to make, all of this stuff. I thought it was really, but I'm just happy that you ended up staying, because we'd still be eating shitty food in a lot of in a lot of these places in Tampere.
But the funny thing is that when I sent my application in, if you look at it just in a black and white, it looks like, oh, this investor from the U.S. just come here and just throwing money at places, but no, and that's why the lawyer was laughing. The lawyer, the police, they were laughing at the decision. They're like, this makes no sense. Like, yeah. Like, did they even look at everything? They even look at your schedule, like you're on a schedule, you're working, like you're not just an investor.
Yeah, you're not sitting somewhere like twiddling your fingers.
Yeah,
and watching
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. And I'm just surprised that I got that much. But anyway, so Manny here is also now like our head chef here at the TNT.
I am.
Talk Tequila.
Proudly.
So yeah. So tell me what is your vision that you see here for tacos and tequila?
Well, I see tacos and tequila everywhere in Finland. That's,
Franchise.
I mean,
Yeah.
a franchise, like standardized recipes, and in the way that I want to do that, I don't presume that in every tacos and tequila, like assuming that we're gonna have tacos and tequila in Helsinki, Oulu, Pori, or just cities. I don't assume that we're all gonna be Mexicans running the kitchen. Like I wanted to make it as though it's accessible to anyone who enters to work with us, that they have an understanding of why we do what we do. Like they have a feeling for the customers when they say, "Hey, this is the best taco I've had in, I don't know,
Ever.
Yeah,
Which is a big compliment coming from foreigners, coming from anyone.
absolutely.
And just try and get that feeling that I have when I eat back home here, and that they have the same feeling as customers when they like try the food.
Yeah. I think to me that's like the best compliment. It's like, oh man, like you get it too, I get it too. 'Cause they think I'm Mexican with my mustache. They start switching.
Mexico t-shirts, jackets.
And you're like, ¿Qué pasa, hombre? Well, obviously they're gonna think you're Mexican, bro.
And then just call me Chino, Hey Chino.
That's back in Mexico.
Oh, here too. A couple people call me Chino here.
Fuck.
But in an enduring way.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, I had. Speaking about like circling back to like that sort of like feeling you get when people say, "Hey, this is the best food I've had," or like
It reminds me of home. I get that a lot. Yeah.
there was this. It was, I don't remember which day it was, because I remember I was working Mondays and Tuesdays before I went back to having those days off. It was quiet. It was dead. And I remember there was a lady just came in, grabbed a menu and sat down. And I was in the back prepping and then seeing if there was anyone at the counter just ready to order food. And no one was there, but the lady just sat there. Didn't order drinks, didn't order food, didn't order anything. And at one point, I just walked up to her and say, "Hey, are you planning on ordering anything? Can I get you something?" "Oh, I didn't know I had to order at the counter." Blah blah blah. So she just ordered at the counter. She said, "Can I have some al pastor tacos, please?" Of course, yeah, and pineapple jarritos. All right, go and try our hot sauce as well. It was a new batch, like same recipe but just a fresh batch of hot sauce. and I saw her, and I don't know if it was the hot sauce or just the sheer fucking excitement from the food. She was crying.
Wow.
The woman,
no, you told me this,
the
yeah.
woman was crying, and I almost cried with her, but I had to keep working, bro. And she said, like, I've been here for 3 weeks, and it's really dark, and I've been like traveling with my son, but he's not here now, and I miss home, and this just tastes like back home. But she said this like grabbing my hand and looking at me straight in my, and I'm like,
Mi amor.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, lady, I'm gonna cry with you. But yeah, that moment made the whole grueling work week worth it.
Yeah.
And I think that's I think I have to keep reminding myself that
that's
when things get tough,
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
because at the end of the day, us cooks or chefs, like, we're in the service industry. You're providing a service for someone,
Yeah.
and then I think that's beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
We need to just
You have to have
Remind
a
yourself.
you have to have a different mentality to be in this.
Yeah.
To be in this in the kitchen in this world.
yeah.
That's for sure.
It gets tough sometimes because, well, everyone can see me there, and yeah. It's,
man.
when I'm under pressure, I'm under pressure, and I'm like, hey, dude, don't talk to me. But you know, it is what it is in the kitchen.
Yeah, man. So I have to ask, what happened to the ribs, though, guys? Because I used to love the ribs, guys.
I know, I know,
I
but
think
So that's the beauty of it is that, and not just here, but at my other restaurants, I have like this, this great vision.
Yeah.
Like you never know until you put it on the menu.
Okay.
And like you might love it, but you're the only one that loves
I
it.
know,
You know what I mean?
I was probably the only one who ate.
so there's a lot of things that have
Yeah.
come and go.
Yeah, taquitos.
The
I know that.
taquitos.
Yeah,
the prawns
taquitos
were excellent.
I know.
loved them.
Yeah.
And then I remember one day
Yeah,
I
yeah.
came like,
Yeah.
the prepping is too long. That's like,
Yeah.
fuck.
No, it was the deep fryer part of
the
it
deep
too.
fryer.
Yeah.
Broke my heart.
or the Baja fish tacos. Those were
Baja fish.
amazing.
Yeah,
Those were great.
A couple things we did last time with the baked potato. Oh my god,
Yeah.
dude.
We had a baked potato on the menu.
Yeah.
we had a vegan.
Huevos rancheros. I remember when we first started, I tried that, but some things work, some things doesn't. Again,
Yeah.
and you have to be able to adjust to what the people want here.
I mean, the advantage is that, like, if you need a catalog of delicious ass food,
Exactly.
I mean, Mexican
Yeah.
food is just the way to go.
Yeah.
But it is a trial and error, and we have tried to make some changes and some additions to the menu. But it's a hit and miss.
Yeah.
I like the birria chilaquiles.
Yeah.
Because you don't get chilaquiles anywhere else here in Finland. At least not that I know of.
Yeah.
And if you're hungover,
Yeah.
you come here, birria chilaquiles, have
Yeah,
a beer
yeah.
on the side.
I think
you're
the
done.
the birria and the chilaquiles are definitely one of those things that stuck when we first did it. You know,
Yeah.
that's something that's really unique. That
Yeah,
You guys have to explain what chilaquiles are, right? Because we're all not. We don't
Okay, go
all
ahead,
speak
explain
the
it,
same
explain it.
language.
Yeah.
All right,
Right.
go ahead, Rene.
Chilaquiles is basically just as fried rice. It comes from you have leftovers, right? In Mexico, you always eat with a tortilla.
Yep.
So then when you have leftover tortillas, they get dry, they get hard. You cut them into triangles and deep fry them. Then you get the totopos, like the tortilla chips kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And then you soak them in some hot sauce. Serve it like that. Some people like them soaked, that they're soft. Some people like them crunchy.
Yep.
Then you basically have some toppings. You can have some meat, chicken, egg. You have some cheese on top.
Whatever you have available.
Whatever
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want is just like just throw them in, and it becomes these like soaked tortilla chips with everything else.
Yeah.
Wow.
For
Just made me
hangovers,
hungry.
it's the best.
Yeah, it just made me hungry. It sounds so good. Yeah, mom.
I remember when I used to work here on Sundays a lot, and if my friends knew I'm working, they put an order in the wall. Like they put a note there, Tam, hook me up. I'm so hungover.
Yeah.
Definitely. What else we got here?
If we're moving on, we can do the shout out to our commenters. There's not a lot of people who have engaged with us, but we have gotten some messages.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
and,
I think it's a good idea. People should keep, telling
Commenting.
us.
Yeah. We don't have email yet, but of course you can always put a comment down, and I get a lot of feedback in person also. So feel free to shout out to us in person.
Or inbox us on the Instagram channel as well. The Instagram channel is live, so
Yeah.
We have some comments from Sarah.
Sarah,
Mili,
yes.
La 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 la.
Amelia Lasso. Shout out to you too. You guys been
Shout out.
giving us a lot of good comments here, and please continue to do that.
yeah.
Man, you can stick around with us, or you got to leave.
No, I can stick around with you
Yeah,
guys.
we're gonna talk about some bullshit news here.
Let's go, bro. I love me some bullshit.
So positive this time.
Yeah. Did we find some positive news as well?
Let me see here.
I guess the first one and the one we have to talk, because last episode you were about to go to the U.S. There was the U.S. elections coming up.
Oh my god.
Hey, let's save the
Okay.
best for last. 'Cause
Is it?
I'm joking. Let's get into it.
The best.
Look at it.
Let's just grill him.
Okay, so the elections was November 5th.
Okay.
And I sat around. So my friends in Connecticut, shout out to Sean, him and his fiance, they're both teachers,
Yeah.
Shit.
and they're highly educated teachers there, and and same group mentality. They're like, there's no way that Trump's gonna get this many votes, and we were pretty confident that
Yeah.
So I knew it was gonna be close. I knew that if Trump was if Harris is gonna win.
Yeah.
It's going to be by landslide, or if Trump's going to win, it's going to be close.
Yeah. Yeah.
Little did I know it's complete opposite.
Yeah. Exactly.
And we're watching.
Trump won by a landslide.
Yeah,
yeah.
landslide. Yeah,
Shit.
and we're watching everything turn red. In front of the small town where I live is mostly liberal, progressive.
Yeah.
But this time I came back, I noticed like everybody, and when you're a Trump fan, you're so proud of it.
Yeah.
You got the Trump flag in front of your house, and we're going through the houses like Trump flag, Trump flag,
Yeah.
Trump flag. And I was
Yeah.
like, "There's no way, dude! Like
Yeah.
this is like farmers, like
Yeah.
tobacco picking people, like."
Bro, the Amish.
Oh,
You
Amish?
see this like tons of Amish, like this with the horse. What's the
had Trump on them?
Carriages. Yeah.
Yeah, with their flags of like, let's go vote, and then went and vote Trump.
Oh my
Like he mobilized so many people.
Like
Yeah.
what what I found interesting was when Biden won, was it not something like, I don't know if it was 71 or 81 million votes, and then Trump had-
Biden flipped it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he flipped the swing states like
Yeah.
Michigan, Pennsylvania, the states that and the areas in Florida that
would vote
blue-
Republican.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But,
this
yeah.
time around, everybody flipped the other way, and I have a couple theories about it. I heard from I read from a lot of the right wing pundits is that a lot of them voted not because of Democrat or Republican, because it's a woman.
That's one. I heard about that
Because
too.
it's a woman.
But then
Yeah.
there was the other thing as well that
Yeah.
that there was a lot of people that were protesting against voting for the Democrats because of the situation in Israel and
Mm-hmm.
Palestine as well. That kind of were like, nah, you know.
Yeah. Even though Trump also is pro-Israel,
Yeah.
I don't get it.
But there's a lot of things that people, as you said, there's a lot of people that vote on one or two issues, right?
Yeah.
And I think also,
Single issue voters. Yeah.
and also what we're seeing, I don't know if that was the case in the U.S., but I wouldn't be surprised because what we're seeing, for example, in Europe, where the right is starting to gain a bit more
Yep.
power,
Yep.
because all these kind of like these very liberal kind of like ideas and tendencies, and then some people who are kind of in between, they're this like, okay, I disagree with the right, but I really disagree with this, like too liberal. So I think that kind of I heard somewhere that they were saying that this like when you push from one side, you will always get a reaction, right? So you're pushing to the left. There's a lot of people that you will push to the right. Just I don't agree with the right, but I disagree with you a bit more.
Bit more.
Yeah.
That's
So
very
I
true.
think that's also a
Every
case
action
that
is an
a
equal
lot of
and
people
opposite
that
way.
were in the kind of between, they were like, now go this way.
Yeah.
Not because they're convinced, but because they don't want the other side.
But
True.
did you guys
Very
notice
true.
that actually
Yeah.
Trump won this time by less votes than he had last time when he lost to Biden?
Oh, right. I mean,
Yeah.
So is it
Total-
less people went out voting?
so
No, less people voted for Trump this time around, but he won. But
But
there
less
was
people
way much
voted-
more less people who voted
I
for
think
the
it's like
Democrats.
15 million less for Democrat.
Yeah,
And
it's
like
crazy.
people are like, what the heck?
A
dude?
lot.
Yeah. And I think that's wrong. That's what's wrong about American politics. I think politics in general is that, I agree with some stuff from the right.
Yeah.
I agree with some stuff from the left, but
Yeah.
I am not far left or far right.
Yeah.
Far left is like total open borders, amnesty for everybody.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
You worked hard to come here. I worked hard to come here.
Yeah.
I paid my dues. I come here.
Yeah.
Just because I
Yeah,
I'm off the boat or
Exactly.
train, then
Yeah.
I shouldn't get. So I agree with
I
that.
think we
Yeah.
should welcome everyone who works to make a better country. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. But the way politics is, I don't know. If you're even a little bit to the left, you're pro amnesty, you're pro this, pro that. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I'm for regulation, but I'm also not against,
Yeah.
kicking everybody out. Like,
I think
mass
there's a lot of people
deportation.
who are in that spot.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, I don't agree with one, the other. I'll flip a coin kind of thing to where I go, right?
Yeah.
Or like this is the one I think it's the least evil of both. So
Yeah,
it's a bit rough when you have only two options.
I think a lot of reasonable people lean slightly to some direction, but if you're willing to listen, most of the time you're center leaning to something, right? Because you have an understanding of both sides, but based on some issues or some circumstances, you would then tend to lean to one side or the other. And I think I wouldn't say center in that way. That I mean, you always lean somewhere. But I think I'm the same way in that sense that I'm not leaning to one side at all. But I'm a very much like a policy person. I really want to hear what you're trying to push forward and how does it benefit the most amount of people and does the most good. But also make sure that as you're putting across those policies that you're also not putting a lot of things in danger. Because some people are just.
But I also talked to a lot of my friends because we also had a high school reunion when I was back in Connecticut.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were, I consider smart, intelligent, but they're voting because of the personality of Trump.
Oh yeah.
We need that person that's different in politics. Yeah, but then to your point where we're talking about, do you know what tariffs mean?
This is a crazy thing.
Yeah,
this is
right?
great. Did you hear about this?
No.
Because Trump was saying, I'm going to impose tariffs, right?
Yeah, get rid of income tax and
for me
everything.
it's crazy because I've just been observing from far, right? Because I don't live in the U.S. I don't have family in the U.S.
Yeah.
But you cannot help but, keeping an eye on the election, what's going on. I think it's something that concerns the whole world.
Oh, for sure.
But then a lot of the pro-Trump were like, oh, yeah, set the tariffs and like, yeah, for China and this and that. And they're like, afterwards, there was a lot of interviews as, okay, now that Trump won, what about the tariffs? Like, yeah, we're going to be great. Yeah, but everything's going to be more expensive. No, because it will move here. Yeah, but that means it's expensive. No, because it's here. Yeah, but the salaries it's more expensive, right? Otherwise, why they have left? Yeah. And you can see the realization of a lot of people in these interviews that they're like, I didn't know that was what this was.
Brexit again.
We got our jobs back, but it's going to be more expensive to buy shit.
It's Brexit all over again. Like people realizing what they did, what they just voted. After voting. Yeah. It's crazy.
People are saying like, if I have this glass is made in America, right? It costs 10 euros. The one from China costs 5 euros. But now with the tariffs, the one from China is going to cost 40 euros. Who's going to eat that cost?
The consumer.
Yeah, the consumer.
Yeah.
The manufacturer's like, oh no, I'll take less profit so I can sell this.
No.
They're just going to jack up the price, and then the consumer's going to pay more for that.
But then they'll move to the U.S. and they're like, yeah, but there in China you pay
the
$1
labor.
a day to whoever.
Yeah.
And here you're going to
pay
you
have unions
12,
and
13 an hour.
Yeah. And I mean, the raw material is more expensive, right? Either you have it or you have to import it. Your labor cost is going to be higher.
Yeah.
You have more taxes. All of this stuff.
People,
I think that is the problem when people vote based on emotions. Did you study the issues and do you understand what it means for your bottom line?
Emotions and character. And I get it. Trump is flamboyant.
He's a good salesman.
Yeah. He's, that's it, man. He's a salesman.
He's a salesman.
He's a salesman.
And he's one of the best at that.
Yeah.
He's president, for God's sake.
I mean, Jesus Christ. I'm just trying to figure out, like... Actually, I'm not even trying to figure out anymore. I have to be honest. I think I have, like, a political fatigue right now. I'm just tired. And it's not just about America. I think it's just even what has been happening in Finland and in a lot of other countries in the world is, like, at some point in time, you get tired of, a bunch of leaders that go out there and sell ideas to people that, any other reasonable, or like the majority of the people, most reasonable people are looking at it. Like, I mean, what are we doing, bro? We have a guy who was a TV show host, who's now president. And then, we have dudes that have been, I don't know. I'm just tired. I don't even watch the news anymore.
For me, it's the same. Like, I don't know, in your country, in Mexico, it's the same. I don't know if you agree that you're watching both. These are the two candidates, right? We have more, but really, these past elections, it was two that you could vote and not throw your vote to the trash. And you see both options, and you're like,
what's the lesser of two evils?
I won't choose either, man. I won't choose either because whoever you choose is, man.
You're so kind with your words, man. They both suck. They both completely suck. And it's like, dude, what am I going to do? Not vote? And it's a danger in Mexico not to vote because then your both goes I don't know.
whoever's in power. basically.
Yeah.
But the crazy part for me is, for example, you're working here. You speak many languages. You have studied. You're educated. You are trying to improve yourself every day. And then you look back. You look back to the candidates.
Yeah.
They're running for president. And you're like, these people are trash, bro.
And it's supposed
Everything
to
they
represent.
say
It's supposed to represent
is
you.
dumb as fuck,
Country.
and they're gonna go and represent me.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It
It's
is.
very hard for me to see that and be like, bro,
Isn't
I
it
have
a
no choice.
Isn't it a beautiful thing in a politically divided climate in the world that we have right now, that one of the most beautiful political outcomes and peaceful transfers of power happened in Africa, in Botswana. Like the party that has held power in Botswana for the longest time just lost elections to like a new, and the sitting president was like publicly calling the other dude like, yo, hey man, good win, good run, know, there you go, and stuff is moving on. And I just like, the only reason I'm raising that up is that often it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Often it's the other way around. And but here's a beautiful example of the world is changing.
Let me ask you guys a question here, because you guys work in kind of multicultural environments. Is there such a thing as being too multicultural? Like how much multicultural does a country or does a business like have to be? Because I can see both sides where like you don't want to lose the identity of your country. But in Finland, then we know that there's a shortage because the government tells us that there's a shortage.
Yeah.
And I'm just reading a story how the language barrier and work balance.
Yeah.
Where one of the he's a founder of Wolt.
Yeah.
He's American. He came here, and he tried to bring his wife and his family here. So I think you're saying when his son turned 18, they had to deport him.
Yeah.
Because he was taking online classes because he tried to speak the language, but it's so hard to learn the language here, so he couldn't go to school. So they had to deport him. He's a
Crazy. Yeah.
co-founder of Wolt that makes millions, and like what hope does that give for any other immigrant that's come here that's trying to assimilate?
Exactly, and I mean, if you look at it, you attract one of you attract a great talent. He brings in his family, but then when you turn 18, you can't be on your parents' permit anymore, right? So you now have to have your own basis for staying. So I don't know the nitty gritty because I didn't dive too deep into it, but it's a sad thing that families get separated over things that really shouldn't be such a big deal.
But with these kind of things, you have a lot of these situations, right? Where we had these like I read maybe a year ago, some bald guy that was working his ass off.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how many hours.
He was
a day.
earning like $12,000 a month or something. I remember that.
But he was no. This guy was a different one.
Okay.
He was working but a crazy time, like crazy hours a day to make 3,000 something.
Yeah.
And they denied his. Okay, I want to bring my family. I will support them. No, you don't make enough money. I'm like, bro, this guy's working fucking hours and hours. He makes 3,000 something, and because the limit, I don't remember what's the limit, 3,000 something that you need to make.
Yeah, no, they just raised it.
It's
now,
just,
yeah.
bro, but that's the kind of people we want. Isn't it?
Absolutely.
Like the people who are working and like are pulling their weight. Kind
Yeah.
of thing.
There was a guy who made it his mission. I mean, that's one case, right? Is that there's like a step process to that. Like, okay, if you bring your spouse, you need to earn this amount of money. If you have one kid, 2 kids, 3 kids, going up. So basically, depending on the size of your family, the more you need to earn, like that. But then, in this world, at some point, for example, people were employees, and then at some point, people became independent contractors, right? So again, the measurement of what is your income was at some point a little bit unclear. But I think they started to figure that stuff out. But I completely agree. You want people that work hard. I clearly remember a newspaper article where there was a guy who was earning somewhere between 8,000 and 12,000 every month working for Wolt. And there were suspicions about how he was making that money through Wolt, even though he had all of the pay slips, the hours, everything was clear, and they were trying to deport his ass.
Wasn't that the guy? Because I was following on TikTok.
Yeah.
Because he was doing this during summer, and he had one.
And it was
Wolt
like a
that's
challenge.
One wheel thingy.
Yeah.
And he was just going really fast everywhere.
Yeah.
But
He was sleeping 2 hours a day or something crazy.
It's insane. Hey, you're working too hard. You need to go.
Yeah, no, it's just too much. You're taking money from other people.
that's one thing in Finland is that in Finland, they consider full-time employees 37.5 hours
Yeah.
I've got so many people here in Joensuu, like from other not Finnish people. Okay? Let's just say that they come in. Hey, chef, I'm looking for extra work. We're working out. Work hotel tone. So, are you looking full time? No, part time. Oh, how many hours are you working there? 37 and a half. And
It's not part time.
And I get it, like where I'm from, 37 points. That's that's part time.
12 hours a day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they're like, chef, man, I'm bored off my ass, dude. I work 40 hours. Yeah, I want to work on my days off, so I make money because they have kids and family support, and they're willing to work at those hours. Yeah. But 37.5 hours. Like, okay, that's part time.
Yeah. But to your earlier question, when you said that can a company be too multicultural, depends on what you're selling.
True.
Because I mean, if you're selling culture, and then you have like a diversity of cultures that doesn't sell what you're selling, maybe.
True.
But it also depends on what the people are doing. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a little bit too much of a controversial comment.
I just don't think we need to talk about.
But at the end of the day, I don't
it depends
think
what
that
you do, right? Because, for example, I work in IT.
Yeah.
Does it matter? Does it matter who codes your website?
Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
and actually, at the end of the day, I don't think you can be too multicultural. Like, I mean, what is the measurement? I mean, the world is as multicultural as your company can ever be.
I'm just speaking like multicultural for the sake of being multicultural. Because
okay. Well, in that
the
case.
thing that's happening in the U.S. now, a lot of companies that the DEI thing, where
okay.
they hire just because you're like
Quota hire.
just because you're
So it's not multicultural. It's like the word this fucking word. It's not diverse enough.
Yeah,
so you have to. So you have to hire an Asian, a Latino, a black.
Have the quota.
And,
but not based on talent, just based on like
based on how you look.
I think that's
I think there should not be any discrimination, no matter where you come from, no matter what you do, no matter whatever. Are you good for the position? It's the same as like in politics and everything. You should be the best. You should be the best, and then you go in, and that's that. And whether you are the best or not should not be, trunked by where you're from, how you look, whatever.
So it's a matter of competence. Then
I think that's how it should work. If you're good, welcome. If not, it is what it is, mate. Work harder, study more. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think the whole idea of the whole DEI thing has been maybe misinterpreted in certain situations, because the people that have been fighting for DEI haven't been coming there saying hire me just because I'm black. They're saying hire me because I'm qualified, but don't discriminate against me because I'm black, right? So, but then when it becomes like a buzzword and stuff, and everybody's like, oh, let's just do this, we need to get it.
What's happening in America is companies they're overcompensating for it. They're trying to be so safe but then they're ignoring the talent. Like all the Marvel movies we talked about, like even the games.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's so much of that in video games where you can't have a busty Tomb Raider anymore. The Tomb Raider has to look like a like a dude. I'm like, no, dude, I want a busty Tomb Raider. That's actually a thing right now. Like a lot of people are going against games that are like the DEI games, and you can tell right away.
Yeah.
But I think this comes with when you push too much, you get the push from the other side,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah,
and I think that's why a lot of people are kind of like against all these kind of movements of, okay, you want more rights, you want more these. I think that's why you get so much people against it.
Yeah.
It's been
because it gets abused at some point.
Yes, and you also have like
happening in the world.
You have a very vocal kind of community, right? Of the, I don't know how to call it, not community, but like a group of people on social media, right?
Yeah.
They're like, no, you should do this, and whatever you do, you'll be criticized, right? It has become this world of in social media, whatever happens is like, oh yeah, but he's like this, but he's like that, but he. So it has to stop being about we want inclusion, we want more. There's a lot of situations where it just becomes I'm just going to point a finger just because.
Exactly.
And then it becomes okay, this was a good thing that we don't have discrimination. We have all kind of cultures coming into a workplace kind of thing. We're going to stop. Like here in Finland, I think some places that, okay, we're not going to use the picture or a name. Just like
anonymous recruit.
Anonymous CV, because then we hire whoever's the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if it goes to the other side of, now I'm afraid that I'm going to hire you, and then you might complain that I didn't hire you.
Is that an actual thing?
Yeah. We like in my workplace, we
anonymous CV, really?
Yeah, we do like your Just now we had a place open and we got like over 450 applicants, and you can't tell who the person is. You can't see the mother, like you can't see anything. You can only see their qualifications and their motivation letter.
Dick
Right?
pics? What if I put a dick pic with my CV?
You might not get selected.
I don't think the sorting is going to be able.
You're overqualified.
No, but you see, and this goes back to my point when I was saying that the whole point about DEI was people saying, don't not hire me because I'm black, hire me because I'm a qualified person.
Yeah,
So when you
yeah.
do anonymous recruitment, I'm just presenting my qualifications, right? So now in that pool of qualified people, you sort through that,
Yeah.
right? And then when you do actually you're picking, you only pick based on the skills. And then when you go into the next levels, I mean, you can always refine the next steps after that because, for example, you could, instead of doing like a video interview, you could do an audio interview or not.
Yeah, yeah.
Or you could just do interviews in English, or you can have like a diverse panel, like all of this stuff. But that's the whole thing that for me is the gist of this, is that the moment you start abusing processes that are meant to protect a group of people, someone is going to scream hello, and then someone is also going to figure out, shit, I can take advantage of this motherfucking situation,
That's
and
true.
then it starts being abused, and that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring this all around just to say that, like, I travel a lot.
Chicken wings.
I travel a lot recently. Yeah, chicken wings. And you know what? Especially coming back from Brussels in the U.S.
Yeah.
Like when you guys travel, because you guys all lived there for quite a number of time. When I stepped off that plane,
Yeah.
like I was talking to Lex, me and Lex, like, I kind of happy to be back in Finland, right?
Yeah, it feels like home now.
Yeah.
Yeah, as much as I love, all the food and, all these opportunities, like all this,
Yeah.
it's just, I'm back to just, I can be, if I want to step away, I can step away. I can
And
just,
I can always come
I
back
can
home.
just be in my apartment.
exactly.
I don't have to worry
home.
about
Yeah.
friends. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm home.
But I don't know if you have experienced this. I've been back to Mexico.
Yeah.
And then I would remember being at my grandma's place with all my family. You're on a long table. There's 5 conversations going at the same time, right?
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, like, bro, this is way too noisy.
Yeah.
Grabbed my beer, went outside to the garden, and I just sat there for a second. I was like, fuck, man, this is a lot.
It's hectic. Yeah.
And then my cousin came, like, hey, what are you doing here? I was like, bro,
I need some
I need some time.
Just tell me, wait.
And then when I moved, like, came to Finland, I had that feeling of
Yeah. I'm so happy.
quiet, peace and quiet, bro. It's
I'm
It
so
is a
nice.
sense of relief.
It is. I'm so happy that you guys brought it up because sometimes I actually felt guilty for feeling that way.
Yeah, right?
Like now I just came back from a workshop from Canada. I'm like, yeah, it's beautiful. So much culture and all of this stuff and stuff, but it's like too many people. And I'm walking there. I'm like, oh, okay, I could do this for like a week. And then as soon as I got home, and it was just like, at the airport is forest, and it's like clean, fresh air, and everything is just calm. I'm like, this is the shit.
Yeah, me and Lex were walking around the airport in Brussels. We're like, man, this is like a company cafeteria / like railway station, And you walk into Finnish airport, it's like, like stepping from a third world country.
Yeah.
Like, like what the heck? It's Brussels, you know?
Yeah, Finland is good. Finland is good, guys.
And it's so true when I was back
So
with my
we're
friends.
unfinished, yeah.
Yeah, we're unfinished. I was still from my friends in America, and like, you guys met some of them, like, they get loud, Like you said, when you get a table, everybody's trying to talk over each other, and I'm sitting there like, oh my God.
Bro, raise your hand.
You American?
In Finland, when you want to speak,
you know what I like? Because in Mexico, when you come to a place, you come to a party, 20 people. You have to say hello and goodbye to everyone. That's rough, bro. And I love it here. That's like, see ya.
Yeah.
Best case is like, see ya.
Yeah, exactly.
You might just walk out. and
It's
no
either
one
that or the Irish goodbye.
yeah.
From across the room. Yeah.
The thing that kills me is the time, like in Zim, right? Time is one of those things. It's like, depending on what you're doing, it's a very flexible thing. We're leaving at 6 a.m. and leaving at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. It's still, depending on what you're doing, kind of reasonable. I can't stand being late anymore. And I don't think people understand how annoying it is. And I used to think this was normal back in the day. But in Finland, when you're early, Or when you're on time, you're a few minutes early.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You
Same.
know?
Yeah.
In Zim, bro. And I always love to see my wife Murphy when she's in Zim, right? Because when my mom says, "Yeah, let's go visit my sister and stuff," and don't worry, we won't be long. We'll be coming back at maybe like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Murphy packs extra food, extra clothes, all of this stuff for the kids because she knows mom's 2 p.m. is probably like 9 p.m. at night. So she's used to it now. But it's one of those things.
First few days.
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
All right, Manny, thank you for joining us.
Hey, thank you very much for having me.
Yeah.
It's been a blast.
You and your mustache.
Oh, yeah, new one at that. It's the first time I've grown out a mustache, man. It's the first time, and it's
The flavor saver.
Oh yeah, it's been all right. It's been all right.
Flavor.
The flavor saver.
Flavor. Hey, talking about let's
Self-censorship.
TK, where can people find us?
People can find us on YouTube, Instagram, and all over the interweb. Please like, subscribe, and press the thingy bell that's on the thingy majiggy with the
Activate
thing.
bell.
Yeah, Spotify, all of your favorite podcast locations and all that jazz.
On Apple now, too.
Apple
right?
Podcasts
Yeah.
as well. And then there's like 4 or 5 other places you can find us. I don't know. They just come with Apple Podcast.
Yeah, and if there's a place that we're not at, please let us know.
Yeah. And please let us know if you have any comments, anything you want us to talk about. It's always welcome.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Alrighty then.
Thank you very much.
Another-
Pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew.